diving into a hot topic in the world of retirement investing, and that's precious metal IRAs. If you watch any TV like me, you see these ads all the time. They actually kind of wear me out, to be honest, but are they really all they're cracked up to be? Can they provide financial freedom that we seek in our golden years? How do you even invest in them anyway? And are there scams to watch out for when you're exploring this option? We're going to tackle all that and more right after this. Imagine retiring with a nest egg made of solid gold or solid silver. No more worries about stock market crashes wiping out your savings. Your retirement funds will be rock solid. Quite literally, the allure is real. But is investing your IRA in precious metals all glitter and no gold? Let's find out. To the Ask Ralph Show, where we explore the intersection of personal finance and Christian values. I'm your host, Ralph, and if you're listening to Financial Friday, our weekly deep dive into all things money. If you caught yesterday's taxes episode, you know strategies for handling taxes when you work in multiple states. We hadn't covered some real money-saving gems, so make sure you join us tomorrow when we tackle how to pay off debts which are already in collections. You don't want to miss that one. Let's open up our Bibles to Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 and 21, which says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourself treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal." And this is the important part, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." Jesus cautions us to be careful where we place our faith and our finances. Earthly wealth can fail us, but heavenly treasures are eternal. As we explore precious metal IRAs, we need to check our motivation. Is our heart set on earthly security and comfort, or on serving God and storing up eternal rewards? The investments we make reflect our priorities. So let's dive in with wisdom, discernment, and an eye towards God's guidance in these matters. You might be wondering, Ralph, what in the world is a precious metal IRA anyway? To be honest, IRA simply stands for an individual retirement account. It's a type of investment account with tax advantages that help you save for retirement. Normally, IRAs are invested in things like stocks and bonds and mutual funds, but a precious metal IRA flips the script. Instead of paper asset, your IRA owns physical gold or physical silver, maybe platinum or palladium coins and bars. The appeal is clear. Hard assets like gold seem more real and more tangible than those fluctuating stocks in the market. Precious metals have intrinsic value, and they can provide a hedge against inflation. They provide a hedge against economic instability, and they hedge against ups and downs of the financial markets. In fact, gold prices often rise when stock prices fall. So adding some precious metals to your portfolio can really balance out risk. Ralph, you might ask, are precious metal IRAs right for me? Well, let's weigh the pros and cons. On the plus side, gold and silver maintain their value over time. Their purchasing power doesn't get eaten away by inflation, and boy, we are certainly in a time of inflation now. When the stock market tanks, precious metals can soar, thereby protecting your nest egg. Their low correlation with paper assets provides portfolio diversification. These tangible assets, these are things you could hold in your hand, give peace of mind in uncertain economic climates. You can also physically possess your metals if you want, and they're generally seen as safe long-term stores of value. Of course, as with anything, there are some setbacks. This is a big one. These things are not going to pay dividends or interest like stocks and bonds. Metals just sit there and look pretty and collect dust, to be honest with you. They have volatile prices, can drop precipitously due to market shifts. The price of gold could go down, the price of silver could go down. And here's a big one. There's costs for storage, delivery, and insurance, and that eats into your returns. And to be honest with you, this is a big one too. Less liquidity if you need to access cash quickly, because selling isn't instant. You can't just say, well, let me sell these gold bars or this silver or palladium that I have. There's also tax headaches if it's not structured properly. There's special IRS rules that apply to these circumstances. There's also the risk of theft, damage, or loss of your physical metal holdings. So you've got to weigh these factors carefully for your situation. Many financial planners honestly recommend keeping precious metals to under 10% of your total portfolio. All right, well, let's say you decide to move forward. Ralph, how do you actually invest in IRA in shiny coins and bars? First thing you're going to do is you're going to need to open what's called a self-directed IRA account with a custodian who allows these alternative assets. These popular choices might include Equity Trust Company, Gold Star Trust Company, and Kingdom Trust. Once you do that, you decide whether to fund your account with retirement savings you already have, or if you're going to put in new money. Maybe you're going to convert from existing IRA, or you're going to take new contributions, just like with any other IRA. Now comes the fun part, and that's time to go shopping for precious metals. You pick gold or silver, platinum, palladium, coins and bars from dealers that custodian partners with. Popular picks are American Eagle and Canadian Maple Leaf coins. The custodian then handles the transactions and makes sure precious metals are stored according to the IRS rules at a specialized depository. You can choose whether you want to segregate your storage where your exact coins are separated, or you can pool storage, which is a lot less expensive. It's essential to work with a reputable dealer and a custodian because scams abound in the world of precious metal IRAs. And that's the truth. So you might ask, Ralph, how do I avoid getting scammed? The key is to avoid companies that do these things. Number one, pressure you to take a big upfront position all at once. This is the time to go slow. Avoid those companies that tout exotic or collectible coins with high markups. Stick to bullion. You also want to avoid those who can't provide referrals or complaints against them. This is a place where you want to do your homework. You want to avoid the companies that have hidden or exorbitant storage and transaction fees. This is a place where you want to read the fine print. If you listen to me, you know I always say, read the fine print. You also want to avoid those that can't clearly explain the setup process, the rules and the tax implications. This is a place where you need an expert to guide you. And finally, avoid any companies that use high-pressure sales tactics or guarantee unlikely returns. As with anything, if it seems too good to be true, well, it likely is. The bottom line is precious metals can have a place in your retirement portfolio when used judiciously, but the cost and complexities involved mean they aren't right for everybody. That's just the truth. They're not right for everybody. So this is the place where you want to seek wise counsel, understand what you're investing in, and don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you approach this with eyes wide open, a small allocation to physical gold and silver can provide financial insurance against an uncertain future. And we're certainly living in those times. But avoid shady dealers peddling speculative metal IRA schemes with promises of massive returns. Don't pay attention to those commercials on TV for the most part. As in all things, exercise prayerful discernment. Well, I know we covered a lot of ground today. To recap, precious metals IRAs allow your retirement account to invest directly in physical gold and silver, platinum, and palladium. This offers portfolio diversification and can hedge against inflation. But the cost and volatility means proceed with caution. This is that yellow light. Work only with reputable custodians and dealers, understand the tax implications, and keep your allocation conservative. And above all, you don't listen to anything else I say, seek God's wisdom. Well, that wraps up for this edition of Financial Friday. I'll encourage you to visit our website, that's at AskRalphPodcast.com, to join our email list, and you get a free copy of my book. This is it right here, Mastering Your Finances. That saves you $10 over the Amazon price. Do me a favor and share this episode if you found it interesting. And as I always say, remember to stay financially savvy out there and keep your eyes on God. He will guide you on the path of wise investing if you let him. Well, thank you for listening, and God bless you.
Thank you for joining us on the Ask Ralph podcast. And with a simple click to subscribe, we'll invite you back to our next episode. And remember, financial issues don't have to be complicated. Just ask Ralph. The information contained in this episode of Ask Ralph is based on data available as of the date of its release. Saggio Accounting Plus and Ask Ralph Media, Inc. is under no obligation to update this content if changes occur. Applying this information to your specific situation requires careful consideration of all facts and circumstances, and any information provided is not to be considered as financial, tax, or legal advice. Please consult your tax advisor or attorney before acting on any material covered.